Today's video will walk you through a restorative yoga practice for runners that you can do at home. What you'll need are bolsters or a few pillows from your couch or your bed, yoga blocks or a stack of books. Bring the ground closer to you in a few of the poses. You may also need a blanket or something to cushion your knee if you have sensitive knees. This video is an overview of yoga poses. So while I'll walk you through how to get in and out of each posture, I do ask you in the video to hold several of the postures for 1 to 3 minutes. So if you're following along while you watch the video, you'll want to pause during each posture in order to hold it for an extended period of time. If you have questions or comments about the video, please comment below. Thanks for watching. If possible, set up your relaxation space in a quiet part of your house. Though, with most offices closed, like many of us, you are home with your entire family and all of your pets. So, it's important to take a deep breath and make do with the space that you have. We're gonna start on all fours on your mat. Do some deep inhalations and exhalations as you move through cat and cow, where you're really rounding your spine and then arching your spine, dipping down between your shoulders and looking up. A really nice stretch in your back, moving both directions, just working on your spine mobility. Moving through this really slowly so that you're really articulating the way that your spine moves. When you're ready, push up from all fours into downward dog. Begin to pedal out your feet and work on stretching your calves. You can move your weight from the right to the left to really get into each calf. Spend as much time here as you need, especially if your calves are really tight. While it's good to pedal back and forth, to really get into the muscle and stretch in a deep level, you need to hold the stretch for an extended period of time. From here, let's go back to all fours, lower all the way down, and do a slight upward bend before coming back up onto our knees and back to downward dog again. Then maybe your pet comes back to visit you. They want to play because they're cooped up inside. From downward dog, slowly walk your feet up to meet your hands, and then bend your knees deeply and roll your spine all the way up to standing. Once you get to the top, extend your arms up high, look towards the ceiling, and bend slightly back for another back bend and a slight chest opener before rolling forward into a forward fold. And the goal here is really to stretch the hamstrings. Just hang out here for a couple of minutes to really get into that stretch and start to get your body to drop into your parasympathetic nervous system. That's your rest and digest system. From here, we're gonna head to the wall to do a nice gentle chest opener. First, extend your right arm onto the wall, turn your body to the left away from your arm. You'll feel a stretch in your upper chest and move your arm up or down just to see where the stretch feels best for you. Also look out to the left to open your chest even more. It's really minor adjustments to feel the stretch during this exercise. Try to relax as much as you can and hold each side for about a minute or more if you can. Like all deep stretches, wind out of this slowly and make sure that you don't go too deep. Just go deep enough that you feel it and it's comfortable for you to hang out for a while. Once you're done at the wall, come back to your mat and come down back into downward dog. You're gonna lift your right leg up, reach it towards the sky. Keep your hips parallel for a moment. Then open your hips to the right. Hang out there for just a couple seconds and then pull your right leg through to your hands. You're gonna drop your left knee down to the ground here for a lunge. This low lunge, or dragon, it's called in yin yoga, offers a really deep stretch in your hip and thigh. Also, there are a few different variations here. One, if this is hard on your knee, like it is for me, grab a blanket or a camping mat or a pillow or anything to put under your knee that's flat on the mat. From the lunge, you can incorporate a twist to open your upper body and twist your lumbar spine. In order to do that, you're going to reach your left arm out to the side, turn your right foot out just a little bit and reach all the way up and back and look up and over your right shoulder. If you want to take this stretch even further and the flexibility is accessible to you, you can reach back for your foot. That's going to give you a deep quad stretch and a really nice back bend to further open up your chest. If you can, hold this lunge or any variation of this stretch for a couple of minutes. Make sure that the version of the stretch that you're holding is not so deep that it's painful. It's just deep enough that you feel the stretch and you can hold it comfortably. Take a break, going back into downward dog before switching to the other side. For this side, I've pulled some blocks to my side to show variation in case you can't rest your hands on the ground or you don't want to twist. Having an elevated surface to rest your hands on is really great. Also, spending some time in downward dog between both exercises is, again, an additional calf stretch. So when we get to the other side, we're going to reach our opposite leg up, open up the hip, and then pull the leg all the way through to the hands. Drop your knee down to a soft surface if you have it. Make sure your hips are facing forward, feeling that stretch in the front of your leg, and then you'll reach your arms up. So here I'm going to show you how, with putting your hands on blocks, either sideways or up higher, you can bring the floor closer to you. Again, reaching back this time to show the opposite side of the twist and back bend. Looking up, opening the chest up towards the ceiling, looking up towards the ceiling, and if it's accessible to you, grabbing that back foot for a deep quad stretch. Next up is the runner stretch. Keep your hips parallel and lean over your front leg. You can flex and point your front foot to see how that changes the way the stretch feels on the back of your leg. You should feel a nice stretch underneath your hamstring all the way down to your foot. If your hamstring and calves are particularly tight, you might also notice a stretch behind your knee. And again, try to hold this stretch for 1 to 2 minutes on each side. So moving on from there, we're going to go back into downward dog. If you want to practice pigeon for a outer hip opener, this is sort of the most advanced stretching move to do this. I'm demonstrating this here with my left leg in front. To make this more of a relaxation pose, you can bend forward, so a forward folding pigeon. If you're really working on maximizing that relaxation, you may want to do a stretch that's a little more passive. You can grab a chair and do the same exact stretch with that bottom leg resting up on a chair, so the chair is doing all that work for you. I'd hold this on both sides for a couple of minutes. So once you're done with that stretch, you might find if you've pulled the chair over, it's a great time to just take a few breaths and lay there on your back and totally relax. These deep restorative stretches are an incredible time to really let go of everything that's happening around you. Another gentle chest opener, inner thigh, hip flexor opener is to lay on your back over a bolster or pillows from your bed, pillows from your couch, anything that's available. I know most people don't have bolsters at home, so that's just fine. Lay over that and open your knees in a butterfly shape. You may want to put something under your knees depending on how flexible you are. If you have blocks from yoga or if you have stacks of books, even a pair of hokas will do if they're high enough. And you can change the way that this pose feels by moving your feet towards your body or away from your body. So just play with that and see what feels best for you. Again, you want to find a place that's comfortable, that stretches, but doesn't stretch to the point of pain, where you can hang out here for about 3 minutes. When you're ready to come out of that pose, pull your knees up, sit up, and windshield wiper your legs back and forth to bring some dynamic movement back into your body and kind of shake out that pose. Next up is a straddle stretch. First, you want to lean forward and relax. If you need something like a bolster to support your body, if you can't lay all the way on the ground, most people can't, so have a pillow, a bolster. You want to let your body just sink into the pillows and hang out here for a couple of minutes. Move the pillows out of the way. You'll reach your right arm up and over to your left leg to stretch your right side body. And shifting your shoulders and your torso towards that left leg and folding over, letting yourself hold that for about a minute. Then walk your body all the way around to the other side, starting with that forward fold, shoulders facing your right leg, hanging out there for a minute, then coming up to reach your left arm up and over that right leg to stretch into your left side body. All right, the last exercise is my absolute favorite for relaxation. In order to get into this, you want to bring your mat up to a wall and curl over almost in the fetal position so that you can roll your legs up and extend them up the wall. How close your body is to the wall dictates the level of stretch. So the closer your hips are to the wall, the deeper the stretch, the farther away, the more mild the stretch. You're gonna hold this pose for 5+ minutes. 10 minutes is awesome if you can manage it for that long. You may start to feel some tingling in your toes. This pose is amazing for increasing circulation, dealing with inflammation in your lower leg, swollen or cramped feet. It also stretches the hamstrings and lower back really gently and relieves some of your lower back tension, relaxes your pelvic floor. This is just an incredible all-around stress-reducing stretch for runners. Really take this time to slow the breath down, clear your mind, let your mind wander, focus on counting, use this time to meditate, anything you want to do to really let go of all the stress of your day.